In the ancient kingdom of Valenwood, where silver rivers wound through emerald forests and tall marble towers touched the clouds, lived Princess Elinora, the only daughter of King Aldrich. She was known not only for her beauty, but for her sharp mind and gentle heart. Unlike other royals, Eleonora often wandered beyond palace walls, listening to her people's sorrows and hopes. But peace is fragile, and Valenwood's peace was shattered on the night of the crimson moon. For years, Valenwood had been threatened by Lord Malvorn, ruler of the northern stronghold of Drakemire, a land of iron, fire, and ambition. Malvorn desired Valenwood's fertile lands, and more than that, its throne. Unable to conquer the kingdom through war, Malvorn chose betrayal. One trusted noble, Sir Cedric, bribed by promises of power, opened the palace gates at midnight. The guards were slain silently. Before dawn, Princess Elinora was taken from her chamber, gagged, and carried away under the cover of darkness. When the sun rose, Valenwood awoke to despair. King Aldrich searched every road, every forest, but there was no trace of his daughter. Only one message remained, carved into the palace gate. "The princess lives, but Valenwood kneels, or she remains mine." Princess Elinora was imprisoned in the Black Spire, a towering fortress carved into a mountain cliff. Her chamber was cold, dimly lit by a narrow window that faced endless mist. Chains were unnecessary. Fear and isolation were Malvorn's true weapons. Yet Elinora did not break. Every day, Lord Malvorn visited her, offering freedom in exchange for submission. "Become my queen," he said calmly, "and your people will be spared." Elinora met his gaze without trembling. "A queen chosen by force rules nothing but shadows," she replied. Her courage angered Malvorn, but also intrigued him. Still, he ordered her kept alive, valuable but powerless. Or so he believed.
Among the guards was a young soldier named Rowan, quiet and observant. Unlike others, he showed Eleonora small kindnesses, extra bread, a warmer cloak, a whispered warning when Malvorn was near. One night, as rain battered the fortress walls, Rowan spoke. "My sister died in Malvorn's wars," he said softly. "I serve him out of fear, not loyalty." Eleonora listened, her voice steady. "Fear keeps chains strong," she said, "but courage breaks them." Over weeks, trust grew. Eleonora learned the fortress layout, guard rotations, and secret passages carved by old miners. Rowan smuggled parchment and charcoal, allowing her to draw maps and plan. Hope, once distant, returned. Back in Valenwood, King Aldrich refused Malvorn's demands. The people suffered raids and famine, yet they stood united. Among them rose Captain Marcus, commander of the Royal Guard, who had sworn an oath to protect Eleonora since her childhood. "I will not bargain with tyrants. I will bring her home." With a small group of loyal soldiers, he ventured north, guided only by rumors and faith. Inside the Black Spire, Eleonora's plan was simple but dangerous. During the Night of Ashes, when Drakemire celebrated its victory festival, guards would be drunk, gates less guarded. Rowan would unlock the inner door. Eleonora would flee through the old mining tunnels leading to the forest. But plans rarely survive reality. On the night of escape, Malvorn sensed betrayal. He arrived at Eleonora's chamber moments before Rowan returned with the key. "You think hope makes you powerful?" he sneered. "Hope makes failure hurt more." He ordered Eleonora thrown into the deepest dungeon. Rowan was captured and sentenced to death. In the darkness below the fortress, Eleonora felt despair for the first time. She had failed, not herself, but those who believed in her. Then she remembered her father's words from childhood. A ruler's strength is tested when all seems lost. Using a loose stone she had noticed earlier, Elinora pried open a rusted grate. Crawling through filth and darkness, she emerged into the old tunnels, alone, wounded, but free. As dawn approached, Captain Marcus and his men reached the fortress. At the same moment, Elinora emerged from the forest edge. Their reunion was brief, alarms rang, and Malvern's army marched. What followed was a brutal battle. Steel clashed, arrows filled the sky, and fire consumed the gates. Elinora refused to hide. She took a fallen sword and stood beside Marcus. "For Valenwood," she said. "For the princess," the soldiers replied. Malvern confronted her amid the chaos. "You could have ruled beside me," he roared. "I would rather die free," Elinora answered. Their fight was fierce but short. Malvern underestimated her resolve. With one decisive strike, Marcus disarmed him. Elinora delivered the final blow, not with hatred, but justice. Drakemere fell. Rowan was rescued, wounded but alive. Valenwood celebrated not just a victory, but the return of its heart. Elinora returned home changed, stronger, wiser, unbreakable. Months later, she stood before the people, no longer just a princess, but a leader forged by suffering. "I was captive in chains," she said, "but freedom lives in the soul. Let no tyrant ever make us forget that." The crowd roared in unity, and thus the legend of the imprisoned Princess of Valenwood was born, a story told for generations, reminding the world that courage, even in captivity, can change the fate of kingdoms.